Hello there, beautiful people. Welcome back, and this is my second episode of Don't Dread It Lock series, where you should enjoy your lock journey, not dread it. So this episode is about retwisting your locks, and I wanted to do a couple of different ways of retwisting and get some footage for you. So there is live footage in this video to help you with your first retwist or to perfect your retwist. And I'm going to talk to you guys about some of the things that I needed before you get started and kind of like the differences, and then I'll show you the live footage of like how I personally do it. I'll show you two different ways, but first let's get into what I retwist with. I use THESKYYLIFE tight hold. There is a regular version, the lock it up. Lock it up just is like a lighter hold. It's not as firm, and I believe it doesn't last as long. This stuff is the best mess. It's the best mess. It does last long. I feel like my retwist, it lasts and it still looks good. Of course, if you spray your hair with water or any sea salt mixture, anything with water, until you wash it again, it's gonna affect the longevity of your retwist. Not saying it's a bad thing, but just so you're aware. But using tight hold lasts longer. It's clear. I don't know if you can even see how much I have. I'm at the bottom of it. It's clear and it smells good, has rosemary and nettle in there, and it does not flake at all, no buildup. So I love THESKYYLIFE. A lot of people use 100% aloe vera gel. Either they make it themselves or it's pretty inexpensive at Walmart. I've heard good things about flaxseed gel as well. I think I might get into that, so keep your eye out on that. But yes, you need something to retwist with. Some people just use plain water. Some people just use water and oil or any of the others. Find what works best for you. I would say avoid anything that is sticky, that has a lot of ingredients in it, because this is the main product you're leaving in your hair. And you don't really need anything that's going to be super heavy, because that's going to cause buildup, and that's not what we want, okay? So something that doesn't have a lot of ingredients, kind of like close to natural as possible. This is really good. And if you guys have any other suggestions that you retwist with, please leave them in the comments down below. But yeah, something to retwist with. Water, anything. Oh, I don't have my little... Oh, it's back there. I also need a spray bottle filled with water, because by the time you get to certain parts of your hair, I start from the back, go to the front. By the time you get to certain parts of your hair, it will start getting dry. So you never want to retwist on bone dry hair. You want your hair to be at least damp. So even if you spritz it in between and then retwist, do that, but you never want to retwist dry hair, ever, ever, ever. First off, the retwist won't even last that long. It doesn't hold it together really well. It's better if it like dries in place. And then there's also a high risk of breakage. So keep a water bottle, spray water bottle handy nearby in case some of your hair starts to get really dry, just, you know, before you get to retwist it. Just to keep that in mind. Now, I have a couple of options here. Now, I show you guys in a clip of using these Duckbill Clips. They're pretty large and in charge. I like these because you can group more locks together. So like you can retwist that one, retwist that one, retwist one, and that will hold all those in place. And you can put a second one as well down below. I like to do something similar to that effect, which I'll kind of show you. Just kind of pay attention to it in the clips. I always clip it at the base to keep it really secure and tight at the root. And then I make sure I palm roll the whole length, and then I just kind of, definitely after the new growth, somewhere in there, to give it weight, to kind of hold it down, keep it in place. And I think the Duckbill Clips, I just used them for my last retwist, and I feel like they work really well. Again, you could put more than one. You could put a lot more locks in this one, and then if you have bigger locks, I think these are better because you're not using 59 million of these double prong clips. Now you want to get ones that look like these. There are some that are very similar and they have like a big gap right here. The problem is you can't put as many locks as you want, especially if they're smaller and they can slip through. It's not gonna have a good hold if it has that hole there. So I just get the regular 80 double prong clips. I have 106 locks, And even though I'm going to use one clip for multiple locks, I bought 2 of these. Always buy more clips than you think you'll ever need, because some might need extra weight to hold them down straight. You might have to use individual ones for certain parts. So I have 106 locks and I have 2 packs of these. I have retwisted with just 1 box, and I felt like when I got to the top, I was kind of cutting it close, and sometimes I need extra ones in the top just because it's not going straight across really anymore. So always get more than you think you need. I'm not even sure. This might have been $3, $5. I'm not even sure. And then these came in a pack of 12, and I bought 4 packs. I kind of want to buy like a couple more because I really do like these. I have to get used to them, but I really do like these, and I kind of use them in conjunction with the double prong clips, especially towards the front, where I just need them to kind of have an individual hold, you know what I mean? So get you a variety of clips that works, but make sure you don't have any with a big gap in it because your hair could slip through. Whew, now we went through that. This is optional, and it's a barber's comb. You see how it gets really small and then goes up. A lot of people have started their comb coils with this comb. Your loctician or a lot of people on YouTube have used these, and these are really great. I'll show you how to use this. I'm a little rusty because really all I do is palm roll. I just palm roll. So, but yeah, you can use these. Grab a hold of it and just kind of take your time. Anytime, even if you've been retwisting your locks for a long time, if you try something new, it's gonna get you have to get the hang of it. So take your time and really just go with it. If you don't take your time with this, you can easily tangle or get the comb stuck into your new growth. It's happened to me before. I might have a clip in here showing me like struggling with it, so it's important to take your time. I usually don't use this. I did on my last retwist. I don't really have anything against it. I think in the beginning of your lock journey though, especially when you first see budding or if you haven't seen budding, I would recommend this comb, especially doing comb coils or anything of that sort, just to kind of help it train to get started and get into that form. So then once most of your lock is budding, you can start palm rolling and just containing it. So now to the good stuff, the footage. I'm trying not to ramble, but I'm just saying. Yeah, so that's pretty much all you need. I do have bobby pins too. Honestly, you just kind of need a little bit of everything for any reason. Cause I say that because my front part is usually finer and usually softer, so that's why I might need more of the double prong clips. So I can't just use these all the way around my head as of yet, or when washing I would use bobby pins to keep them in place so I can still wash it but it's not unraveling. So just kind of a little arsenal of everything, so that way it's not like you're doing your retwist and you're like, oh snap, like I don't have what I need. So yes, now to how I do it. I've been palm rolling for a couple of months myself. In the beginning, my loctician, she would do a combination of like using the comb. I feel like she used the comb like in the beginning, like at the root part for my new growth, and then at the end she just kind of sealed it with palm rolling. Okay, which way do I palm roll? I think that might be a question that you guys are gonna ask me. I palm roll clockwise. So this is my lock and I'm going that way. Let me see. So it's gonna look like I'm going to the front towards you guys, but like I'm going to the right. Like if I pull my hair back, I'm going that way. So yeah, so if you're beginning, I would just say kind of figure out which way it's gonna go. Get yourself started and then you can palm roll all the way down. Now this is a tip that I haven't necessarily done myself, but now I'm gonna do. I've always, clip placement is so important. I'm gonna have a special video on that, but make sure you are palm rolling the whole length of your lock, and keep it in that formation, just because you can have like fluffy like locks because you're not like training it down into shape. So make sure you do that, even though you see budding is very important. So just don't forget that. But mine has been doing pretty well. because I always clip it at the base and then, you know, somewhat after the new growth, and I just keep doing that, and that seems to give me the same results. So I do that. So yeah, figure out which way you want to retwist or palm roll your hair and stay consistent. Once you get the hang of it, like sometimes you have to be like, okay, I'm going that way, and then roll. If you ever feel like it's coming undone or you're going against the grain, you're going the wrong way. And sometimes even on this side, because I have to retwist it differently, I'm like, okay, I'm going that way, and just roll it like that. So that's palm rolling, and I'm gonna have a video in here showing you live in action how I palm roll. Really, it just kind of depends on you. I have also done where at the root, I just twirl it around my finger and like smooth the root that way and then palm roll. I have not had any problems with that. I don't do that as of lately, but that's how I first did it, just kind of getting used to the overall process. I will say though, disclaimer, Damian Walter was saying like that doesn't, like he doesn't agree with doing the whole twisting around your finger thing. It doesn't give you the same results somehow. To me, I haven't seen a difference, but just so you're aware, I don't want to tell you wrong and then you see another video like actually talking against it. I have started out that way, like kind of getting used to which way I'm going to go, and then slim it down and then palm roll. And you don't really want it to curl up on itself like that. Some say there's a lot of stress on the root, but really, I mean, that's just how your lock is going to dry down. So if you want your locks to be like straight, I mean, then don't have it curl up on itself. But yeah, just simple palm rolling. Make sure you go the same way, the same direction each time. Take your time. And then, of course, I'll talk more about clip placement, but you want to clip at the base and then beyond your new growth. One clip and that's it. It doesn't really hold what you just did in place. It kind of lets it go. So you kind of want to do that. Take your time with placing clips and everything. Now with the comb, I'm going to show footage in here too, but you just kind of want to make sure you have all the hair into the combs, but it's not like so much to where it extended so much. Like you don't want your lock right here, because then when you try to retwist it, the front part of the comb is just going to grab everything in sight and it's going to be a tangled mess. If you feel yourself getting tangled, just stop and undo it all, because the hair, like this comb can't get through your lock, or you're at risk of combing through your lock, especially if you're in the beginning. So in the beginning, I'm pretty sure you probably need a comb, according to Damian Walter, you know, before the budding process or right when the budding process first begins, he still uses a comb. But be very careful, because since yours isn't as mature as most, later on down, you can comb through your lock. And for my front pieces, since they're so soft and fine, and I can't really get my hand to go right in the front, I just don't do that. I just palm roll the front for sure, and make sure I put as many clips as I need. So yeah, be careful with this. Make sure you take your time. It's probably necessary in the beginning of your lock journey, like I said. And you want to make sure your hair is damp but not soaking wet. If it's soaking wet, it's going to take longer to dry, and I feel like you're going to have to use more product when it's super wet. So make sure when you're done washing, which if you haven't watched my Washing 101, that's my first episode in the Don't Dread It Lock series, so make sure you watch that. And then come over here and take the advice I have here. I just kind of softly, like I wring it out, but then I softly dry it with a t-shirt or something. And then I just have elastic bands to separate, and I just kind of go straight across. I do have box, like brick layer pattern, and I'm kind of used to that from doing my own block braids. If you have diamond pattern or anything like that, you may have to go at a diagonal, which if I find any videos that are helpful for that, I'll link them down below, because I can't even give you advice on that. All I can say is just take your time and really try to visualize what your hair looks like, and keep your hair separated to minimize having to repart or losing your parting, or like have your hairs go into different locks that you don't want it to go in, unless you're going freeform or semi-freeform, make sure you do your retwist consistently. I would say at least every 3 weeks, definitely monthly, especially in the beginning, just to make sure your hair isn't intertwining with other locks. You want it to intertwine in its own lock, because then when you do retwist it, you don't want to really have to break them apart. And sleeping with a scarf or a bonnet, I like bonnets better now, but sleeping with that will keep it from like roughing up together and like tangling. So I do mine at least every 3 weeks. I have done it every 2 weeks, but nothing more than that, and nothing longer than a month. Yeah, so I do that. I retwist it, and then I sit under my dryer. I try not to sit under there for longer than 30 minutes. Now, mind you, I feel like the more clips you use, it's like covering more pieces of hair. And then, of course, once you're all done, I replenish moisture with, again, THESKYYLIFE African Healing Oil. This is like my favorite oil of all time. And they're at it. Just keep practicing. Take your time. I kind of make this an all-day experience, but I'm kind of getting quicker, so I don't really need to anymore. But I always retwist after I wash. That's another common question I see a lot of people ask other YouTubers. Every single time I wash my hair, I'm going to retwist. I think that's just how I'm going to be until the end of time. And yeah, so I hope that was helpful. I hope the live footage helped you guys a lot. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer them. Yeah, everything I got here was bought at my local beauty supply store. You can find these things on Amazon too if you don't have anyone near you that sells these things. THESKYYLIFE is becoming on a poppin', so you should be able to find her stuff, but if not, she has a website, and I know Amazon does. I swear by her products. Since day one, my loctician referred me to her product line. I have not had any problems, no buildups, no anything, so make sure you just take your time and enjoy the journey, and I hope this was helpful. And until next time, you guys, see you later.
Okay.